Hello. Don't know if anyone's watching yet, but I'll be starting to stream here in just a moment. Just getting everything set up. Hello. Good to see some people in chat. Just getting stuff set up and ready to roll at 5. Good to see you, first time viewer. Good to see you, Lycorfer. Just getting everything ready to roll and settled. It's been a long day. I've been cleaning the house, so I'm kind of tired, but that's just how it is, you know? And we're just about a minute out, so just one moment and we'll get started with some art. Yeah, welcome in. I hope everyone's got all their drinks and their snacks. We can just chill and hang out here tonight. Talk about random transformation art stuff and other fun topics. And it's 5 o'clock. Let me just go ahead and fade on over here. Alrighty. Welcome to all 2 of you. I think one of those might be me. So, if it's just Lycorfer, hi Lycorfer. I think we're gonna go ahead and right now I have some work that I need to catch up on specifically. I have some requests that I did for my Patreon request stream. I need to get some inking done on them because should have gotten these out like a day or so afterwards, but I was just beat last week. Completely beat. I don't know why, but the entirety of my system was not rolling. So I'm going to go ahead and do some nice simple inking. And let me know if you're having trouble hearing me or if music's too high, too low, anything like that. That way I can adjust things on the fly and we can get going. Alrighty, let's see where my nice inking brushes are. I thought I had some nice inking brushes here, but I might not. Might have to go download them on the other side. Let's see, yeah, crap, looks like I need It'll be a little bit different than my usual brushes, but it'll be fine. Hard round. Pressure, opacity, and flow. Those need to go onto the proper layer that I need. Okay. Hard round, pressure, size. That's what I want. Because that's about the right thing for inking. Oh! Good to see. Glad to see that people are coming from Twitter. I think. What's being worked? Oh, hey Avery. Well, what's being worked on today is, honestly, I'm playing catch up. I have not had time or the energy to ink some of the requests from last time, so I'm gonna be working on some of that inking. Then maybe later on tonight, I have, I was planning on working on some of the art for this month's Patreon poll request. So I think that's my plans at the moment, is get some inks done, get some, and then later on get some, a couple of different people. First one we're working on here is Rio's character, who was doing his character in a Pokemon Ranger outfit. So, I'm gonna work on that. Right now it's gonna get real big because I am the type of person who likes to get real close to their art. Like, art! Yes! Hello! Welcome! We're starting some art and getting some work done, because I have not done my work. I've been very tired all week. Yes. I am indeed very close to the subject matter. I'm one of those artists that you'll look over to watch me work and I'll be just like physically scrunched around what I'm working on. I don't know why. I know it's bad posture. I know it's gonna get me in the end, but I like being able to see. And for whatever reason, I feel like I physically can't see it unless I am extremely close. But I also have a nice little window up here, if I can make it more visible, that shows me a general overview. I don't know if I'm sick or not, but I've just not had a lot of energy for the entire, last bit of February here. But the life must go on. Well, I am up to date on my glasses prescription. I have kept up with that. I just, have not been, I just, like getting real close for whatever reason. It's a psychological thing. Sorry, no sirens in this particular stream. Mostly just, we got Moth Girl, we got some bunnies, and we've got a kangaroo, and this one here is a fox. A fox wearing Pokemon Ranger outfits. Here, I'll scooch back so that everyone can take a bigger look at the very messy art from last time. Oh, hello. Hello, Kuji. I'm gonna have a hard time pronouncing the rest of your thing, so I'm just gonna go with Kuji. Nice to see ya. But yeah, here's some of the art that we did last on my Patreon stream, and I'm just working on doing some inking for it today. We've got some foxes in Pokemon Ranger outfits. We got a Moth Girl We've got alien craziness, botanical alien craziness happening. We got some rabbits, and this is the sketchiest one yet. That was supposed to be a kangaroo TF that I had a bad stream last time where I was very not feeling good, so it's the sketchiest out of all of them. But let's get back into work. I'm going to get back into work and stop resizing it the wrong way. Alright. Up in close. I never understand how, like, manga artists can get super fine lines, but I guess it's by doing this. By getting real up close and then working small. I think there's an unintended B at the end of the Twitch line on Blue Sky. Ah. But I copied the link directly from my thing. Huh. Whoops. See, this is the part that's the most annoying about streaming and all that sort of stuff, is trying to, like, do all the other maintenance work. Okay, so the link has a wrong thing, but it still's getting you here. Still's getting you to this stream. Because if the link works, then I'm not gonna fix it. But if the link is broken, then I am not gonna fix it. Then I am gonna fix it. Okay, so clicking it gets you here. That's good. In that case, it's not broken. And we'll just leave it as is and work on art. Ah. Ooh, crunchy. Hey, Zelo. How's it going? It's all good. I'll just fix it. Fix it real quick. There we go. Hopefully that's the right one now. So I can stop directing people the wrong way. And, okay, I've got Blue Sky taken care of, got Twitter taken care of. I probably should edit my, I should edit on Fur Affinity. And on DeviantArt. There we go. I think I got everybody fixed. With that. Alright. Now back to the low-key art. You know, I think out of most of the steps of art, inking is one of my favorites because it's just kind of so mindless. Like people are like, "Oh, art is so relaxing." It's not. I mean, there's there's a lot of unrelaxing parts of it. There's a lot of, oh, I have to figure this out. Why is this looking wrong? Where's that reference that I need? You know, all that sort of stress. And having to, because art is creative problem solving. And so when you're trying to solve the problem and have to plan everything out, it's a bit frustrating. But when you're doing stuff like inking, all the thinking has already been done. I can just be like, okay, I'll follow the lines. Yay! No brain. No need to use my brain. All the lines are already drawn for me. I just gotta draw them again. Like a coloring book, exactly. Except a little bit different than a coloring book because, you know, you have, you're doing all the, you're just following the lines rather than filling in the lines. And, you know, with inking, the other bit is, I find color a touch stressful. Not like in a horrible way, but for me, color is another decision that I have to make. And so, occasionally I'll be like, I don't want to color because it's annoying to have to figure out, you know, what sort of color scheme would look best, or even if you think, okay, you know, sure, those are the colors that it's supposed to be, but how do they work in this lighting, and is that the right color for this situation? Because sometimes you can make a color that you can make something look a color by putting it next to something else. Like, it's called relativistic colors. Let me see if I can find an example. Hold on. So, okay, never mind. I can't find a good example, but like, for example, if you take a gray and depending on the shade of gray, if you put it like next to a green, that gray will just read as like a lighter green or a darker green versus the actual gray color that it is. So there's a whole lot of little, ooh, that's a big old eraser. There's a whole lot of little nuances with color that you have to think about, but with lining, it's just black and white. You don't have to think about it at all. So having a little bit of mindlessness can help when you're stressed about art and stuff, and that's why inking is the best step of art. So how's everybody's week's been going? Any of you done anything fun? I've been prepping all week for a meetup of folks that from my local doll group. Because, you know, my other hobby here is I collect ball-jointed dolls, and I have a local meetup group that I go to for that, and I'm hosting one of the monthly meetups here at my house, and so I'm a little nervous and excited, and I've been cleaning my rooms all week. Ooh, final exams. Oof, stressful. Dog sitting up till yesterday. Felt pretty low the whole time. I'm feeling weird now. Good to hear you're feeling better now. I mean, feeling poorly is never good. At least you were feeling poorly and you had cute dogs to help you out. Whether or not their help was helpful is debatable, but at least they try. Thanks. I hope the entire thing goes well. I've got it's supposed to be a Valentine's Day themed meetup, and I've got a whole bunch of goodies done up, and I'm hoping to get a couple of like little scenery, like little dioramas done, so that folks can bring their dolls and take photos with them in the dioramas. Oops, don't need to lock it. Need another layer so that I can do a nice consistent line all the way through. Erase the bits under here, and then merge that down with the other one so that I don't have to worry about. It's easier to draw straight lines all the way through something than it is to draw like individual segments. So that's why I did that. I think I probably should re-look up what the Pokemon Ranger outfits look like so I got the details right. You know, because I was working pretty fast and loose in my last stream. Okay. Oh, whoops. I hit the wrong button. Nope. Okay. Pulling this over here. I hate Pinterest. Pinterest is an annoyance to the extreme level. Okay, and it looks like it is two sort of little, yeah, it looks like two little buttons there. Alright, good to know. Let's make these things look a little more three-dimensional. So we do have it tilted. There we go. And there's a whole little, like, gear thingy that I did not draw last time because I don't think I even saw it last time because I was just too brain dead. So let's see if I can get this little thing put in. Looks like it's just kind of like a clip. side clip thing. Go down to this layer so that I have some better reference. Got this little sticky uppy thingy. And then this bit in here, and then little doodads. This sort of goes around it like a shell. Can't really tell what that detail is, but we can make it up. Let's go back to this layer and working on this. You know, I do kind of wish that Photoshop had some of the features of Procreate, because one of the things I do really like about it, being like touch optimized, is the like thing it does where it automatically straightens lines. I love text, but I never drew them myself. Maybe someday. Yeah, go for it. That's how I started, because I was just like always a TF enjoyer, but never a TF artist, even though I was a regular artist. So I just decided one day, I'm gonna go for it, and I just did a bunch of self-indulgent TF art, and then it got fairly well recognized. I wouldn't say famous, because I'm definitely not famous, but well recognized is decent enough. I mean, I already have too many problems being just well recognized, I shudder to think what would happen if I was actually like famous within the community. Nice, good to see that you're also on my FA. That's one that I keep up with because it's a long-standing one. Well, I mean, sure, please no pictures. Oh yeah, we can joke about that side of things, of being too famous, but I think honestly with online fame you get like none of the real life fame and all the problems of real life fame. Like a lot of folks end up being very like opinionated about art that you do, and feel no shame expressing, not shame, but like but they have no filter expressing their very specific wants about your art to you via the anonymity of the internet. Like, I don't know if you guys, I think I talked about this on the fan Discord, which, for anybody who doesn't know, I have a Patreon, where you can join up for like lowest tier is $1 a month, and we have a little fun fan Discord that you can hang out in, and we all chat in there. It's a fun time. But like a while back, somebody took one of my arts and some of my art and re-uploaded it to DeviantArt, specifically to change the meaning of the TF. Because I did a really fun Sylveon transformation, a female to male Sylveon transformation specifically, and they change it to be male, like male to female, and I'm like, come on, guys, you know, we already don't have enough female to male transformation stuff. Why you gotta take the little bit that we do have? And none of the money, exactly. I think I got that right. So it can be a little stressful, yeah. So I definitely would shudder to think what would happen if I was, like I said, actually famous on the internet. Okay. Yeah, I did have another person who was like, "Hey, you should put your characters into a character AI so that we can RP with them." And I'm like, "No, please don't. I don't want that. These are my characters. If you want to RP my characters or something based on my characters, please do it with a human being. Like, please, I don't want my work fed into the plagiarism machine." So it can be rough. Let's see. Let's get some more lines in there. Get this all done up. Alrighty. Getting these fun little shorts done up. And working on trying to sort of get that rather angular Pokemon style in there, or at least, you know, some of the outfits and stuff in like the Sugimori art is a little angular, which is good. It's fun. It's got a nice visual distinctive style. Take a quick look. Yep, very visually distinctive. And fairly simple in some spots, but fairly complex in others. Oh, cool. Back last November. It's always good to pick things up again, and that's the fun bit about art. You can always pick stuff up again, or majority of the time. What was your TF about? What brought you back into TF that last November? Mid transitions are are pretty fun. Okay, let's do some little sockies. And then random TF implied art of fun on Blue Sky from Rush that don't do everything. Yeah, it is pretty fun to see when somebody see TF art from a non-TF source. Just kind of, you know, fun and unexpected. Okay, let's focus. Have to actually... Didn't quite do it the way it's supposed to look here, or at least the way I envision it in my head, so I'm fixing that up. Okay, then it's got sort of a weird Y dealer bopper on the sides. Cool. Fun. Let's do this top bit and a little bit of cleanup while I'm at it. Go. Not the greatest, but not bad either. Fun. Put the sock in there. And this little funky shield thing. And that, and yeah, sort of BS the rest of this bit. Nope. Shoes for anthros are weird. They just are. Very seldom do I'm not a personal fan of it, but I know that Rio, who this was for, has already does enjoy it, so I figured I'd give it my best shot. What do you guys think? If there was like an anthro world, modern day world, would shoes be a thing, or would shoelessness reign supreme? Like, maybe in specific circumstances, like highly dangerous construction areas, places where there's like a lot of glass on the ground. But otherwise, they have already a pretty good, natural pads versus human feet that are all soft and squishy. I think shoes would be things. The shoes are just really handy in urban environments. Fair. That's definitely one way of looking at it. True, even concrete on hot days isn't fun. Fair. So maybe there'd be some shoes, but like, I don't know how. I'm kind of curious as to what the form factor would be, because I'm not a super big fan of this form factor, is what I'm thinking. So I wonder if they'd end up developing something else. Maybe more sandal based. Yeah, slip-ons. Oh, cool. Where are you from? I'm from Pacific Northwest, so I kind of have the opposite problem. Majority of my days are soggy days versus hot. We've had some hot summers recently due to global warming, which is not fun at all. Our houses are not built for that, and we get a bunch of wildfires, which sucks. Oh, cool. Southeast Asia, yeah. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Good. It's neat to see that I have folks coming from all over. I was pretty sure that the majority of my followers were also American, but I think I have had some Europeans that I've at least commissioned from some Europeans because I'd be working on it at my night shift job. I work on their commission at my night shift job and be like, okay, here's the work in progress all done. I don't have to worry about, I'll send it to them and I won't have to worry about their response till morning. And then they ping me directly and I'm like, oh, hey, I guess, why are you still up? It's 3 a.m. And they're like, well, the day just started here in Europe. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense. Alright, now I'm gonna go for a nice little roundabout inking bit. You want to know the simplest inking trick? Do everything in thin line, then do one thicker line around everything, and your art will look good, or at least look better. Although, make sure you take some breaks while doing that, otherwise if you end up deviating, it can be frustrating. But yeah, it's a real simple, nice art tip is thin lines on the inside, thick lines on the outside. Or thick lines where you want things to pop out, like for say this chin, it's overlapping this, and I want it to read as closer to the viewer versus further away. So I put a little thicker line down there so that it reads as closer, or like where it's or where things are overlapping, like this arm. I'll do a little bit of a thicker line there. Same with right here. A little bit of a thicker line. Generally the way that human brains work, thicker lines make things pop out and read as closer, versus thinner reads as interior detail. So you can use that to your advantage. You'll see it in a lot of different art styles. I'll probably completely outline these legs, because again, I want them to read as being in front of the tail. Because I kind of already accidentally did the tail in a thicker line, so I'm just going to leave that tail as is. Well, hey, you did more than me yesterday. Yesterday I did nothing. Yesterday I did no art. Even if you just managed a little depression doodle, you did more than I did. I'm definitely not one of those artists that is like you have to draw every day in order to get good. Draw when you want. Honestly, I find that drawing while I'm at work is easier because I work a night shift job at a desk, and it's a very quiet job, so having something to do keeps my brain focused, and especially if it's like work drawing like this, it helps my brain think, okay, I gotta get this done, versus lollygagging about. Alright, let me zoom out. Alrighty. Let's toggle off our... Oh, I'm dumb. I need to move that down. Let's toggle off that bottom one. Alright, nice clean line work. Woohoo! You should be proud, even if it's just a little bit that you get done. Doing a little bit is better than doing nothing at all. Alrighty. Now we're gonna hop on over to we're gonna hop on over to our lovely little moth girl and get started. Let me just squish that down to where it was. And moths, moths, moths. Yep. Get a little bit of a floof there, and then go in with some detail. We definitely wanted a smug expression on her face because of your whole fun inside joke that you got going with this picture. I am having a rough time getting that. Let's get the hair. Control Z. The hair nice and flowy. Kind of think of like the very blunt cut hair as like noodle hair, because it's like a bunch of those flat Alfredo noodles. Moths are fun. They're very pretty. I like the fluffiness inherent in their designs. I think I did make her chin a little too pointy though, so I'm gonna round that out a touch so it looks nicer. Yeah, there we go. And then, speaking of the fluff, let's get that fluff in there. Make some woof. Too foof. We need to round the foof. Make it nice and yeah, that's better. Let's get the little shadow in here. that shadow also is part of the whole stylistic part of the whole, you know, thicker line, thinner line thing. It's a stylistic representation of that shadow that gets cast under your chin. So let's get in close to make her all cute. Now she does have a nose, but I'm gonna give her a little like almost blushy line, sort of indentation deal, so that it looks, so that it kind of implies a little bit of definition there. Because I'm imagining, you know, her face is from like the side profile or something like that. Buy yourself some photos of buzzing with chin. Well, yeah, some art styles are like that. They have, and there's zero chin. Yep, gives you depth so you can tell the face is forward. Exactly. Speaking of, I'm gonna give you some little cute little eyelashes to match the foof. Whoop. And maybe ramp up that smug expression. Okay, I'm liking that. A little bit more definition there. Scooch out the touch.
Yeah, she looks appropriately smug. I'm gonna play with that just a little bit. Yeah, there we go. Alright, and now her fun little wingies in the background. And back to some foof. In particular, antennae foof. Do I want it that spiky? No, I don't think I do. One day I think I'm gonna should do a study on moth antennae. But dependent like the pressure part of drawing lines. What sort of tablet? Because it depends on the different the tablet, how to fix that and make sure that make sure that it's picking things up right. And sometimes you've actually just toggled one, toggled the wrong button and it'll get annoying like that. But honestly the best option is probably just to be like, okay, let's just search on Google what's causing pen pressure issues. Okay, let's really quickly do that line. And this foof that I just did, I need to delete. And let's make sure this hair that I added in kind of last minute last time actually works. works pretty well with the outline. The hair gives it it's a nice little curve down this way. It's my fault for forgetting it in the beginning, but I think it works well. This hair should be going over this way. We can go ahead and get detailed. With some of this Gothic Lolita outfit stuff. Little pin tucks there. Let's see if I can understand my own artwork and get some ruffles going. Fun part about ruffles is you just make squiggle and then connect squiggle bits. For me, like, pressured lines is important so that I can get nice thin tapers. But I like it mostly because it mimics the feel of like drawing with a pencil or a pen. But you know, every artist has their own work, has their own workflow and their own style. Some people can do amazing art with no pen pressure at all, and I am in awe and scared of them. So. So if you can figure out how to make it work for you, then make it work for you. But if not, well, there's other ways to learn. What is up? Why is it not showing? Where did it? Oh, okay. Guess I was just being dumb. Now let's get some flow into that shoulder. Alright. Here's the other shoulder. We don't need to do too much with it, just sort of show that it's there in the background. Here's some more fun with ruffles, because you can take these little ruffles and make them big ruffles in the same process. You just do the wiggly line and then figure out how the wiggly line connects. I'm actually going to put a little bow right here because I think that'll look cute. Just a little one. Whoop, whoop. Whoop. Put that around and connect. When you do big wiggles, you gotta connect on the inside as well. Otherwise it doesn't look right. Whoop, whoop. Connect. Whoosh. And you can get wavy with the connecting if you want, for extra dynamicism. Now we wanted one other interior set of ruffles, so we'll go. Oops. They do have to be wiggles though. They can't be sharp. They gotta be wiggles. Sharp is a different flavor of ruffles.
maid dresses are fun. I mean, they're ruffles can be applied to so many things. So, all right, let's go ahead and work on this hand and floof that's right here. Oof, you can tell where I was getting tired. But the good thing about moth girls is you can be a little bit silly about their anatomy. You can add some little keratin type dealios, or whatever. I think chitin is actually what it's called when it's on bugs. Chitin, yeah. Chitinous exoskeletons. Now let's get some floofies. Get some floofy arms. There we go. And do our silly little guy. Little artist mannequin dude. Let's see. Let me do a little bit more detail on this hand up here. Consider Kuji, I applaud your fluffy quest. Fluff is a very fun thing to draw. That is a wonk ass hand. I need to rework it. There we go. We want hands that actually sort of look like hands, even though they're moth girl hands. You know, just a little bit more realism. Okay, get this guy's arm tucked away. It's not going to be super big, but we do want him to look semi-accurate. There we go. And continue over here. Then this and some feetses. And I think our little guy is complete. And we continue with the foofening. When you got floof, you gotta alternate between round bits and little fluff bits in order to make it look nice. Now for more wiggles. Oh no, so tragic. Alright.
Let's zoom out a little so I know what I'm doing. There we go. Yeah. Probably need to shade a bit in there. Just a little bit of shading. A little bit of darkness. Sounds like my mom's brought her dog over. He is a menace, but he's a family menace, so he must exist. Alright. Then this is going to be the... I want to have that line continue down. And let's get this fun little multi-limb moment also going. Yeah, sorry if you can hear him in the background. His name's Adam and he is a psycho dog. All energy all the time. Hey Corey, good to see you here. Did try to do commission too, but so far it's not been working out. It takes a bit of patience. Definitely takes a bit of patience. Patience and time. For me, honestly, it was just finding the right niche and going from there. Because, like, I did not get commissions before I did transformation art. Seriously, just like I did not get commissions. But you know, once I got fairly well established here in that circuit, things picked up. Things definitely picked up. Do stuff for yourself first and show that you have a passion, and I think folks pick up on that, and from there things get better. Yeah. Oh no! Well, quick recap. What I was saying was, that honestly, I didn't really get commissions before I started doing TF art, and I think a lot of that has to do with just going for something that I was really passionate about, and if you're really passionate about a thing, then people can feel that, and then from then on, folks get more intrigued about what you're doing. If I use the marker. Yeah, that too. Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. I think the dog hit some sort of sensor because there's loud beepings. So, one moment.
It's all good.
Oh, it's all good? Awesome, thank you! I don't know if you guys heard that, but that was my brother. He is an awesome housemate and co-owner of the house. So, yeah, look, he probably just hit a carbon monoxide dinger and bumped it. Because, like I said, he is a menace dog. A menace dog. Full of the craziness and the energy.
glad to be getting this stuff done so that I can get it out and posted, because it's fairly overdue. I did this last Wednesday, and I'm just now getting everything inked. I think, and honestly, with last time, I was just completely brain dead. So I think the problem was last time that I streamed, I forgot to eat food before doing stream, and I was, just not having a great day in general, so I think that all kind of collated and ended up with it being a stream that I had to stop early. I'm not happy with that. Let's go ahead and okay, they match a bit more now. Yeah. I think that might have been part of the reason, and then I don't know, everything just kind of felt frustrating that night. Oh yeah. I love doing forearms or other fun configurations, just because it gives a lot of fun dynamicism. That is way too large to things. So still way too large. Better, but not great. I find that some of the I'm pretty good with. I like having more than one arm because it allows you to do all the pose ideas versus less of the pose ideas. I need to rotate this so that I can do a nice curve. Well, the point to one of my settings, custom species, which how that's fun. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Like that, yeah. Figured we'd make it a little more poofy. Yep. Being able to do all the ideas that you have for posing the hands versus less of the ideas is yeah, that's probably a bit too poof. You kind of want an A-line skirt.
Because she is more gothic Lolita than sweet Lolita. There's different Lolita, like, silhouettes. At least there's more A-line silhouettes, like this. Whee! And more cupcake silhouettes like this. Both are acceptable. It just depends on the dress. I mean, sort of, but not really with like 50s housewife art. With 50s housewife, it's a little bit of a different shape. Specifically, I don't know how to explain it right now, but the more cupcake shape of a Lolita dress is, it's a bit higher, like, yeah, more fit and flare versus cupcake. Now let's think about these poofs, because what we want to do for these is do long wiggles. And probably need to turn them upside down. Because what I want is wiggles that show a downward curve. Gotta think about things. Long wiggles. Alright. Now let's turn things right side up. Yeah, that looks good. We want these wiggles to be a bit more square. Again, when they're long wiggles, you connect them. If I was getting real thoughtful with how the wiggles connected, I'd be like plotting out how to make them a bit more, what's the word? Like all radiating. But oh yeah, butterflies. Butterflies are pretty too. Definitely not as much fluff, but they have their own pretty attributes. It is always fun to see people's differing takes on bug anthros. It's always a fun creative challenge to take these animals that very much do not look like us or follow like a mammalian style body plan, and then see how we take that and pull that into our anthropomorphization styles.
don't get me wrong, just like female to male transformations, male insert 90% of fictional species here are kind of fine. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I'm trying to do fun. Male harpies are pretty fun. I'm also I think my main thing is that I am a sucker for monster boys and monster men, so I do try to do a decent amount of them for my own personal art. I like monster boys. For me, it's definitely it's not I want a, hunky monster man for myself. It's I want to be the hunky monster man, okay? Or the cute monster boy. That's the way my brain works, is I would like to be the cute monster boy, please. Cool. Phoenix harpies are a pretty fun idea. I actually got this art that I'm working on of somebody who's like not exactly a phoenix harpy, but they are like half phoenix, like their mom, like dad was a phoenix, mom was a regular human type of deal. Which left him with some interesting after effects, but like no actual powers. That's another piece of art that I've been like working on slowly in the background for ages and just haven't had the time to completely finish up. You guys want to see real quick? Let me see if I can look through my scans for it. Open. Yeah, here we go. This is one that oops. Messing everything up. Nope, go back. Yeah, this is the harpy guy that I've been slowly working on. Glad you guys like it. He got stuck with a unwieldy tail and feet and some little other feathers, but not much else in the way of things. That and some fire resistance. Okay. Alright. Now that we got the general lines done, time to go back and do our outlines. I mean, the bird doesn't even have hands. Fair. I tend to lean more towards the humanoid monster, humanoid anthro bits. So. Very fantastically smug. Getting some. I tend to work a lot slower on these work in progress streams versus like the request streams. Mostly because, you know, here I'm getting the work done, and this art takes time. Whereas on the request stream, I want to get everything. Like, I want to get like a base amount of stuff done, a lot of stuff done, because you know there's a lot of requests I want to get done, but I know I can't do them all within time frame. I wonder maybe if I split my request streams up into like 2 per month. Like, you know, it'd still be like the same form and everything, just like I'll pull from it twice a month versus once a month. That might be a good way to get more requests done, but like have the same amount of well, I don't know. I'll have to consider things. Honestly, I have to figure out a lot of logistics currently. Like, I need to find a better way to do my commissions so that I can, because I feel bad like turning people down, but I also feel bad when people get cut out. So I'm also thinking that I need to get a email list started for my commissions, just because I have a lot of folks who are like, oh hey, can you text me when you're going to do your commissions next? And I'd be like, I'll do it if I remember, and I don't ever remember because I am far too busy. So if I can start like an email list for folks, that way people can get a little email notification when I'm starting. That'll give them all the info to get my for my commissions. There are only so many hours in the day and in the night, sadly. Whoops, I need... Come on, follow the line. Nice and gentle. And this one too. Maybe have a form where you can add your name to an email list and then copy paste that into an email. You get a lot of misses, but that's life. Maybe. Like I said, lots of logistic things to think of. Oh, speaking of logistics things, for any of you who are in my Patreon and are Nat 20 people, the form for that, for your monthly commission, is going to close pretty soon. So keep that in mind. I'll probably post a reminder about it tomorrow and be like, hey, last day, get your monthly art request in. Oh, yeah, understandable. Trying to do streams around, stuff like exams, way too tough. Way too tough. That's why I'm glad I am not in college anymore. That would be very hard to manage, doing both that and all the other stuff.
definitely some things I miss about college, but there's a decent amount of things that I'm like, I'm glad I'm glad I'm a 30-year-old now. I think I mostly miss honestly the location where I went to college. Oh yeah, I have definitely had a joke that turned into an actual character. Half of my D&D characters are built like that. I have a skeleton bard named Lucky. Because, you know, they're very lucky to have ended up where they are, and, you know, still somewhat alive. I had a like fire elemental that was a fighter class, and I made him a fighter class simply so I can say that he is technically a firefighter. Alright, back to the college stuff. I think I mostly missed the location because I went to college down in San Francisco, and that was a very, very fun time. Like, don't get me wrong, I went to art college because I have a Bachelor of Art in Animation. And don't get me wrong, lots of stress, but also I liked San Francisco. I liked being there. I liked being there versus like LA. I went down to LA for an internship for a while, and I am not a fan of LA at all. I had my car stolen 3 times while I was in LA. So, well, not my car battery specifically. It was like they would steal just the battery. I think let's check his depth. He's a mile-long mermaid hydra. Neat. That's a cute pun. That's a cute pun. So never. Ooh, yeah. Our school library wasn't great, but there's lots of other fun places to hang out on campus. Well, I say campus, but the college that I went to was like 40 buildings spread throughout the city, and you had a bus system that took you in between all of them. So it was less of a campus and more of just, go explore San Francisco, have fun, don't die. Alright. We got that one done. Go ahead and check the line art. Yeah, not bad, not bad. A little bit of cleanup here and there, maybe. Ooh, whoops. Not that much cleanup, just a little smidgen. Moths achieved, great. You want to spice form? Origin was someone decided to make a long memory tale longer by each E in fiche. It was type a hole. Ah! Sounds like a very, very silly character. Okay, and we're gonna work on Radiant's alien takeover. Alright, getting in close again. Z, maybe not that small. A little bigger. There we go, that's more like it. Then we want to paint bucket this, make it look like a horror tear for a moment before outlining the rest. Swap to white. Get that fun star pupil going on. And back to black. If I remember correctly, we wanted to go a little bit body horror-y with this one, which is always a little fun. I like my poor characters having. I like characters getting some torment. Yeah, cautionary about putting on strange jewelry and spaceships. We get to have some fun with little antennae dealy boppers. Getting very close to comfy side for characters unless something was interesting enough or my mood was in complete dumpster fire and we're right. Understandable. I mean, I think I found that there's kind of a divide in the transformation community, like, and it's not a bad thing. It's just there's folks who will write transformation stuff specifically intending it as, oh, this is transformation I'd like to have myself go through. And you know, that's usually a lot more wish fulfillment, a lot more like, oh, they enjoy it, they get, you know, it's a pleasant transformation. And then there's some people like me who are like, I like to write I like to read transformations that are happening to other characters, and I like to see them suffer. Like, I enjoy watching a character go through the ringer, so yeah, I like watching characters go through the ringer. So that's definitely a thing that intrigues me about TF transformation art. And I could totally, but you know, like, if transformation was real or was able to be real, then yeah, I'd want it to be painless for myself. But like, if I'm reading about it, give me some crunchiness. Give me some bones that are shifting uncomfortably. All that sort of good horror. Just makes my makes me happy to see characters go through the ringer and then come out stronger on the other side, you know? Let's get some more leaves in. Yeah, definitely got the identity feels in there. Oops, that's a bit too long. pretty happy that I got a decent amount of motion here in this one. Alright, yeah, now we can scooch out a bit. Scooch it, scooch it. I remember with this one we were having a rough time figuring out this lower bit. Like, trying to see what was... Oh, it's too large. Trying to figure out what would fit, like, style-wise. My son changes his actual story, except being shapeshifter means fully ditching a persona was possible down to appearance. I'll be honest, I don't think I've ever really super clicked with any of my sonas. Like, you know, I draw it because it represents myself, but I don't, like, tend to have super huge storylines with, well, I've made storylines with self-inserts that have grown into their own thing, but I haven't like with a first, like if I've had a couple of personas that I've designed for myself, but I've not really like ever built them out into their own story, you know? Okay. Focusing in on this right here. And then I have these tendrils also coming up, and I think I'm gonna adjust that a little bit. Adjust that pose so it reads a bit better. Go get this hand done up because it's in front of everything. I'll be honest, I'm not sure how other streamers go past like 3 hours. After that, I just kind of feel tapped and like I don't have anything more to say. Male B, I imagine a male B experience would be interesting. Not a lot for them to do. I can get this one finished up, and then I think I'm gonna switch gears after I get this one done and do a little bit of planning for yep. Do a little bit of planning for my what's the word? My brain has stopped. I want to do a little bit of planning for the Patreon whole transformation sequence that I'll be doing. And I can explain what that is to all the new folks here when we get to it. But let's work on this first, and then we'll head over there. Got this sort of fun plant-esque tail, part plant, sort of planty, sort of dragony. With a rosebud on the end. That's not. There we go. That works better. Okay, and I think this is a little bit too low. Whoops. Let's just scooch it up into the right spot. There we go. That looks better. Then get to have a fun, funky curl here. Good bit about these internal leaves here is you can just go all squiggly with them. I just need to look somewhat resembling a squiggly flower tail. Flower tail and tentacle hands. And weird tick-like legs, because we wanted this to be sort of like a floral face hugger, I think is what we decided. Except not quite, because it didn't go over the face. It just but the premise is similar anyway. Flower tail. parasitic vines and whole lot of other befuddlement. Okay, let me take a look, see where we're at. Only thing I haven't gotten done is the feet. And they're very rough feet. Oof, look at that. Should probably redraw the feet. Because of how boxy I made them last time. Give them some actual, make them sort of look like real shoes and junk. Oh yeah, rough. Very rough. At least a little bit better. Then again, feet are also not a strong suit of mine. So, you know. No asking for feet pics, folks. You'll be sorely disappointed. I know, and that's why I'm always broke. That's what... Sure, it's where all the money is, but my feet, they suck. I'm decently okay at paws. But, like... Camille, don't do that. I need that money for food. All that sort of goodies. Let's clean things up a touch. There we go. Make my outlines outliney. Get this overlap done and pushed forward.
not very happy with it. Little dealy bopper. I wonder where the idea of these like little bug-like antennae for aliens came from. I'm cute. Yeah. I would just wonder where it popped up. Looks like we have a bot that popped up. That's no fun. I'm not sure how to block that. And they've already disappeared, so I guess we can just delete and move on, I guess. Let me see if I can figure out how to do that. I don't know how to do that. Well, sorry about that, guys. That's the other thing I need to put on my to-do list. Get better at figuring out how to stream. I'm only okay at it, so sometimes stuff like this happens and it's annoying. I just don't know all the tools available on Twitch and stuff like that. Oh no, you didn't join super late. You joined pretty much at the beginning. I mean, I've still got an hour or so yet to be streaming. I'll be going from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. here in Pacific Standard Time. So, you joined fairly early. Yeah, seeing other processes from different artists is always a very helpful tool for learning. It's one of those useful learn how to steal some techniques type of thing. Son of a gun. Come on. I'm always constantly changing and improving my process by watching other folks. Recently, I've been trying to pull a lot of inspiration from Ryoko Kui, the person who does Dungeon Meshi, because I absolutely love that series, and I really like the way that they stylize people and it vibes well with my internal sensibilities. I know. So fantastic. They're, they have a sketchbook that's coming out from them, called, Daydream Hour, where it's got, extra art they did and other fun little tidbits, and I've already pre-ordered it with my local comic book shop because I am very excited. Very excited for it to come in. Okay. Almost done. With this bit, anyway. After that, you'll get to see me struggle to think of a thumbnail and that sort of stuff. Yep, lots of fun little tidbits. It was fun seeing them translate all the different characters into their different fantasy races. Just because it shows how good of a hold they have on the different stylization for their dwarves and elves and that sort of stuff. But also at the same time, they also have I've also seen that some of the character sheets that they've done where it's just a bunch of random elves. And they all definitely read as elves, but they still read as individuals, you know? Same with all their dwarves and all of their halflings, so I'm very happy with a lot of their art. I also am deeply in love with the elegant solution they have for calling for what to call humans and in fantasy, because they're called tall men because hey, their main defining feature is that they're generally the tallest of the races, and then they use human as a general term for any humanoid creature. So elves are human, dwarves are human, halflings are human. Then they get silly about orcs and stuff and call them demi-humans. So interesting. So fun internal biases in the world building makes it feel more realistic. Okay, so I got 3 of these all inked and loosened up. So now I'm gonna go ahead and spend a little bit of time doing some planning for my stream that I want to do. Not my stream, my blah 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 blah. Patron voted transformation sequence. So I had a lot of fun with my patron transformation sequence this month because I was so let me just pop on over there and I'll show you guys what I did for those of you who are uninitiated. So I found someone who did these absolutely wonderful cakes, and the prompt was that I need your help choosing a cake. I'm going to be serving it at my Valentine's Day party, and there's so many cute designs at this shop, which was some little hole-in-the-wall place called Patisserie La Metamorphosis, that I just couldn't decide. So here's the cake here's the cake. So let me know which one's your favorite, and I'll be doing a group TF pick based on the chosen cakes. So final form will be a bit of a surprise. And I found these lovely pictures by Lin Cakes on Instagram of just like these very decorative. Oh yeah, very innocent name. So for these very decorative and like super amazing looking cakes. And I gave a decent amount of options here, like 5 options. But the one that won out here is this one, the moon cake. So that is what I will be. That's what I'll be going ahead and doing a like group party transformation sequence on. Let me just go ahead and grab that picture again. And the moon 1-1. Now, for this specific, the idea that I have here for the transformation for this is, Moonlight Masquerade. That could definitely be an option. Because it gives me very much Masquerade vibes as well. I want to do have people transforming into sort of fairy tale critters. So critters like all go into a fancy fairy tale masquerade. All nocturnal critters, so I'm thinking like bats. You did say some moon rabbits? Yeah. Maybe some moon rabbits. What other fun nocturnal critters? Possums could be fun. Definitely some moths. Definitely some moths. Owls. All critters that mice and ferrets and stoats, maybe. I could definitely do some sort of weaselly thing. Weasels. Ooh, maybe cat. That said, we gotta make sure we're able to show, that this is a transformation in between. So let's go ahead and change up to our sketching brush. And gonna make ourselves a little thumbnail area. Pop. Make it a little lighter. Just to have something to draw within. The plan is to have it be a big group picture. Maybe like sort of showing the mid TF for a bunch of people. So I'm thinking maybe one of the options we could have here is this cake up front. Doop-a-doop cake, cakey cake. In the corner, cake in the corner, doo-doo-doo. With some obvious slices taken out, because we want to make people to understand that. Yeah, not very TF from one side and almost finished on there. That could be, that could work. And then put some folks here enjoying their time as regular humans. I'm kind of viewing it as like a I'm kind of envisioning it as like a almost a reality warp going on, you know? Like things start to transition over, like people are surprised, and then and then reality reasserts itself. Good to see you again, Avery. We're working on some plotting for this month's patron. Oh, Ripple Magic Wave. I can see that. Lots of good ideas. Put a person here that's eating the cake. A little slice of cake. Cake slice. And then sort of like a middle, maybe like a middle person here, getting surprised at the growing some owl wings. So like over here I think would be sort of the regular party. Regular humans. And then I need to figure out some perspective. Unfortunately, a lot of my planning process is a lot of think. I'm imagining that it was sort of just like a. I was almost imagining it as sort of like an office party that then then gets like turned into a masquerade party. I want the final vibe to be kind of like a... Yeah, do you guys remember... Oh, whoops. You guys remember that book series Animalia? So... I would love some of the final images to look like this. Let's see. Gram base. Got one of weird Australian names. Gram base. So this guy is a really cool artist who did a bunch of really fun and intricate like children's books illustrations. Animalia was like a series where he did like basically an alphabet, but with these illustrations that just had like everything that you could think of to put in for, like, example for this one, for letter P. You know, you got peacocks in here, and you also got pandas, penguins, puffins, all that sort of stuff. Just lots of cool detail. But he also did, like, just some really just fun, what's the word? I just like his very illustrative style with lots and lots of detail, which I might not be able to exactly replicate, but I want to pull some of the vibes in from there. Of like Animal Masquerade type of deal. Oh yeah, I think there was definitely a puzzle book. Lots of different, lots of different ones. Like there's this sea-based one. So. Yep. Let me go ahead and pull some. So I think maybe we have like, you know, sort of a basic room over here that then sort of wanders off into a like fancy garden. Like usually symmetrical, but like we're just pulling some inspo here. A little bit of magic. I'm thinking like some sort of long, windy path. I can see that. Something along those lines. I do want to very prominently feature the cake because it's a fancy cake. It's a pretty cake. I'm probably gonna like just legitimately show the cake, show it, and honestly almost copy over the design. It's a good looking cake. I have some other people here in the background, just sort of walking around. Doo-doo-doo. Doodly doodly doodly. Maybe we can show the transformation also happening to the scenery. Thinking like a fancy little something like that, yeah. Oh, hi, baby cat. You need attention? My cat has decided to join the stream. Oh, come here, baby girl. She has opinions on art. Hi, baby. Yeah, shifting from sad office party to moonlit masquerade. Totally. And then have like some more epic garden scenery in the background. Maybe a little castle silhouette because, you know, who doesn't want a fancy castle? Whee! A little moon here in the background. Then probably sneak myself in here somewhere because, I mean, it is supposed to be me bringing the cake to the party. And then we have some more animals, critters with fancy vests. It's a moon rabbit. So here's a little very, very poor sketch. What am I turning into? I'll be honest, probably a bat this time because I am a bat fan. Bat fan. They're my favorite. I am just love me some good bats. Cute little critters. Bat fan. You get to pull out all the fun historical I am drawing very horribly at the moment, but, you know, the main idea is to get the gist, you know? Get the rough gist of everything before going into any sort of detail. Of course, we want to pull in some bits of this cake. So we want a nice, it's already got a lovely color scheme for a lot of things. So I'll definitely be referring to back and forth from it. Yep. I'll be working on that in between doing commission stuff. Oh yeah, there's definitely going to be star theming in the like in the outfits and the like masquerade outfits. I'm actually also considering maybe possibly doing just like star, like, celestial object head people as well. Like, I'd love to have characters that are like a fancy anthropomorphized sun and moon or stars, you know. It'd probably be a possibly a good way to do it. It would possibly be a good idea to do that. I think in this case it's a bit too much planning at this late of a stage for me to do that. So I think I'll probably just stick to playing around with doing. I think I'll probably just stick to doing regular as I'm going along designs for the characters. But yeah, maybe in future if I do some more group shots, I will maybe for some of the higher tier maybe for some of the higher tiers in the Patreon Discord, I'll do that or do something similar. What other things do I want to design? I think I've got the general gist down, which is what I wanted to mainly get. And I'm pretty happy with that. A nice fun little like reality warp going on because of the cake. Anyone who ate the cake. Let's see. Let me make sure to save this so that I have it for reference. I hate how it always goes like, oh, you want to save it to the Creative Cloud? No, I don't want to save it to the Creative Cloud. I want to put it on my own PC, thank you. You should have to have the sad letters you hang on the wall. Yeah. Something like that. Okay, I think I'm gonna do a little bit more work. Now that I've got sort of the base idea down, I'm gonna do a little bit more work over here until the end of the stream. That way we've got... That way I've got you tantalized for the upcoming patron art, but not all of it seen. And if I remember correctly, this one was not Zelos, but Azure Bunnies. I don't know if they're in the chat tonight, but I know. But if they are, I hope it'll be neat. Okay, Kiki. Meh. What a good girl. What a good baby. Yep. Luck of the draw on request stream. That's how it is. We have a kitty who is hiding behind the monitor. Let's see. Now we're just going back to some fun, mindless thinking. Had to use our brains for a little bit. Now back to the fun stuff. It's a close call there. That's not quite what I want ear shape wise. Oh, hey girl. Ow, brain hurt. Yeah, brain hurt. Just a little bit. A little bit from using the brain. Plan out and do all the creative problem solving. That is art. Thought it'd be cute to have Azure have this one lopped ear, one unlopped ear. A little half lop. Let's fill in. Oops, that made it all very crunchy. Beginning of that bunny dewlap, as well as a little bit of line texture, I think. Yeah. Not sure if that looks great, but we'll give it a shot. Zoom out a touch. Rabbits have surprisingly furry feet with no paw pads. Lots of people think they have paw pads, but they don't. It's my fun fact of the day. Oh, the floof. Yep. Okay, get going on all these folds. Folds are more annoying than pleats. Because there's so many types of folds. Like, so many ways that different fabrics can fall. And it's so frustrating to learn all the different ways. And then to try and guesstimate which one would happen depending on what is underneath. So, clothing folds suck. They're necessary to look realistic, or at least plausible, but they're still just a rough time to draw. Yeah, cloth that can, well, sort of liquid, sort of not. It all has to do with tension as well, because like a wool sweater is going to fold very differently than a thin undershirt or like a cotton work shirt. The slipperiness of each fabric changes a decent amount of how it folds as well. So a lot of fabric folds are situational, and honestly, sometimes the main thing you gotta do is get just enough practice that you can bullshit it. Just enough practice till you can say, that looks vaguely okay. Like, there are some folks, though, who are insanely good at clothing and folds. Yep, our goal here is plausibility, not precision, exactly. There are some folks, though, who are insanely talented. Like, if I remember correctly, there's like this one French old master from like Rococo era, Marie Antoinette time period, who like legitimately must have sold his soul to the devil for his powers or something, because he can do these just amazing satins and silks, and then also do realistic lighting on the brocade that was on them. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, otherwise I'd pull up reference images, but seriously, some of his work looks so real that you can like just sense memory, feel the texture. It's so good. Oh yeah, and there's some latex fans who can do some really amazing, crazy stuff as well. It's definitely not something I'm super great at, so. But, you know, the folks who have, oh yeah, that's a whole different skill set. Whole different skill set of crazy. Get this all colored in. That way we can have some nice contrast in this fairly simple piece. Make it a bit more, graphic. Get a little bit more lining in here, so like it goes from dark to light, where the shadows intersect. Sorry, I'm being a bit quiet. I think I am. Sometimes I get too focused in. And it's a good thing for getting stuff done. Maybe not the best for when I'm supposed to be streaming and being personable. After this, I'll probably go ahead and, yep, almost done. Almost to the end. And do the same over here. Just a little bit cross-hatching. It's gotten dark outside. Coming, definitely nighttime out here. We're still, it's been starting to get a touch lighter around here, but it's definitely nowhere near, like summer type of light. I am definitely ready for the sun to come back. I have working night shift. You end up at this time of the year in this time of this part of the world. You end up with vitamin D deprivation. Legitimately, just because it gets too. Especially if you're, working night shift like me, you come home in the dark, you start work in the dark, you sleep during all the good sunlight hours. So, I am ready for it to be at least bright again when I get off of work / a little bit longer when I wake up. Because, I would get maybe 2 hours or so when I wake up. It's starting to get, to 2.5 hours now, but still too much. Still not enough light. I bet. Especially because those ER nurses work,
those stupid long shifts, you know? Honestly, if I could change one thing, there's a lot of things I could change about the medical. If I had the power to change about the medical industry, I could. But like one of them, at least, would be to have more nurses that work less hours, because and doctors, you know, more medical professionals that work less hours, because dear God, that cannot be healthy for them or safe for the patients, type of deal. But there is systematic stupidness all over, so. And I literally just work the basement job. I live in a tiny gremlin basement in the hospital and answer stupid questions all night. Exactly, yeah. It doesn't make the maximum amount of money, so it doesn't happen, which is frustrating. Okay. Oakley dokley. I am pretty happy with how that turned out. Yeah. Yeah, pretty happy with that. I think, I know it's a little early, but I don't think I have anything else I really want to work on till the end of stream. So I think I'm going to cut it loose a little bit early tonight. I was glad to hang out with all of y'all and get some good work in, get some good planning in. I can't wait to show stuff off to you, and hopefully, like, in the next day or two, I'll have this stream one completely finished and have it post out to socials. So I'll probably also rearrange a decent amount of it, because, you know, I have it right now in the optimal drawing arrangement for my brain, not the optimal viewing arrangement, but yeah. Alright, well, good night. Sleep well. Hope you get some good rest. Bye.